Made on Zencaster.
The all-in-one podcasting platform. Zencaster really does make making podcasts so easy. All the details are in the description. Hello and welcome to Fit for My Age, the health and well-being podcast from Abeceda. I'm your host, Michael Millward. Today, Alain Salas, the author of Brain Power Secrets, will be explaining his body and mind approach to dealing with the pain of chronic health conditions. Alain is a natural healing doctor who helps chronic patients improve their symptoms fast and crush their chronic conditions. He is based in Kansas City in Missouri in the United States. I have not been to Kansas or Missouri, but when I do go, I will make my travel arrangements with the Ultimate Travel Club, because that is where I can access trade prices on flights, hotels, trains, holidays, and so many other travel-related purchases. You'll find a discounted link in the description. Now that I've paid the rent, it is time to make this episode of Fit for My Age. That will be well worth listening to, liking, downloading, and subscribing to. Very importantly on Fit for My Age, we don't tell you what to think, but we do hope to make you think. Hello, Alain.
Bonjour, Michael. How are you doing?
Bonjour. Ça va?
Ça va très bien, merci.
Aussi, moi. Thank you.
Yeah,
Merci. You didn't tell me you were going to do that at the start, did you?
Of course not.
This is what happens when you tell someone that you were once responsible as a training and development manager for employees that worked in France, and not all of them spoke English. So as an Englishman, I had to go and speak French to them. And my vocabulary is very small. We'll continue in English, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Thank you very much. Can we start with why is a Frenchman in Kansas City, Missouri?
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Sometimes I wonder, and I used to live in south of France, actually, Michael, and I used to live on a sailing boat, right? And I was renting boat in south of France, yes. I'm big on freedom, and for me, the symbolism of freedom was a boat, right? So it was adventure, right? So I used to work like 7 months a year, and the rest of the time I was traveling or sailing, right? So
Nice.
I was kind of a sun chaser, if you want, Michael. I had a calling one day, and I saw myself helping other people. And so they used to call me the gypsy. I had long hair, party, every night, and have a hearing. And I went and told my parents, oh, by the way, I'm going to go to America to become a doctor. So, I mean, you can, I'm sure, picture their smile and laugh and, and all of that, right? And so ending up in Kansas City and studying chiropractic. I'm a chiropractic physician by formation. That's my base. And I did that because I was really intrigued with something that we call the innate intelligence, our own ability to heal ourselves. So I did graduate in Kansas City, Missouri, to make a long story short. And I got married to a French woman that I met in a bar in Kansas City. That's why I decided to stay there. And after, it's just another story, right, to tell.
Yes. You were living on a boat, and freedom means boats for you, but isn't Kansas City and Missouri, isn't it landlocked?
Oh, it's like Midwest. Like we've got lakes, but yeah, it's very, very different. But I have to say, going to America really changed my life because for the school I had to cut my hair. Otherwise, I wouldn't graduate, right? I had to wear a tie. So everything was different for sure.
Oh, and you went all preppy.
Yes, all cleaned up.
Yeah, from hippie to preppy.
That's it.
Oh, that must have been a little while ago. And now you are a doctor, and your specialty is chronic conditions and helping people with pain. What is a chronic condition?
Well, a chronic condition depends if you look at the, dictionary and the way we are being told. Acute will be like the first 48 to 72 hours. I will say a chronic condition is like, for me in my book, that's my belief, that's my own definition, is more like more than 2-3 weeks, right? I mean, something has been recurrent. It can be on and off. It doesn't have to be all the time, right? But it's really something that is impacting you, big time, and something that most of the people, they have trouble to resolve. And I can go on, with why they have trouble to go on if you want.
Oh, well, yes, but not quite just now, because so a chronic
Sure.
condition is one where the condition lasts more than a couple of weeks. So we're thinking about something that is
Yeah.
happening long term. And the pain that is with that, I suppose, could either be constant or is something that you know is going to come back. You're never going to be rid of the pain, is one of the things that might be people think about it.
Yeah, typically they'll say, "Oh, that's my sciatica acting up again. Oh, that's my digestion, messing up,
Hmm.
things like that." So something that you're kind of familiar with, and it's still there and lingering, and
Right.
or it can be sometimes that like a condition that can put you on disability,
Hmm.
and those are more extreme cases, and that's usually the people who I deal with are people who think they have been everywhere and try everything with no success, right?
Hmm.
And that's the kind of people that come to see me.
Yeah. And your approach is one that focuses on the mind and the mind's role in the management of that condition. So, whereabouts in the human body would we find the mind?
Well, just for clarity, what I want to say, it's like my approach is truly holistic. It means that, for example, Michael, if you got a chronic condition and you come to see me, I will tell you that y- I see you, somebody who's got potentially physical
Hmm.
stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress, and I do all of them just for sake of clarity, right? So I created my own physical energy technique, right?
Okay.
Also, I'm a cranial specialist, and for the chemical stress, which is inflammation, right, I can check your organ and find out what's causing the inflammation in your organ, right? And after, the missing link was the mind, right? And so the mind clearing that I created has been a really a very amazing and very important things. Can you repeat your question a little bit?
Whereabouts in the human body would we find the mind?
Nowhere to be found. It's nowhere to be found. That's such a cool question.
That was my
Yeah.
point. If it's nowhere to be found, what is the mind?
Usually what I do, I make the analogy of computer. If you look at the physical part, like you mentioning, that's more the brain. It's called your hard drive, right? But the physical part of a computer, so this will be the hard drive. And after, you've got the software that run, all the apps and all that, and the software that run your computer. And this is called the subconscious mind. And I'm going to explain after what really is the subconscious mind. And the output of your software will be the conscious mind, and your behavior will be reflected on the screen of life, right? So you've got different kind of programming,
Yes.
and that will the outcome of your behavior will be, of course, dictated by those programming that are located in your subconscious mind.
Okay. Right. It's it sounds very straightforward. The mind is the software that operates on the brain, which is the
Yeah.
hardware.
Exactly. So the physical part, that's why I'm so none,
Yeah.
right? Like you were guessing that I will. It's because the brain is only an interface, before between the mind. The mind is it's not physical.
You can't lift it up, but it's there and it's how the brain works. And I suppose the mind for each individual person then will be different to anyone else's. It's a unique piece of software.
Exactly. The program, to be more specific, of the mind, because we all have been programmed. I mean, you have been programmed, I have been programmed, everybody listening to that program has been programmed, right? It happened, like, to give you an idea how it works. From age 0 to 7 years old, we are like sponges, right? We're like
Hmm.
kids. And so what we see in the outside, we think is the truth. So we assume things. And when you assume things one time, two times, it becomes a program. And this program go into your subconscious mind. That's where it's stored, right? Because we kind of have two minds. We've got the conscious mind, which is basically our self-identity, right? Our personality, what we are aware of, what we perceive, how we perceive the world, right? So it means our thought, our emotion, our behavior and action. That's the conscious mind. And after, we've got a mysterious mind, right? A mind that is very secretive, very hidden. And it's called the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, Michael, record everything you have been doing on your life from age 0 to now, right? All your skill as a podcaster, as a businessman, right, are stored in your subconscious mind. All the automatic process in your body that you don't have to think about, like your heartbeat, like your breathing, your digestion, are coming from your subconscious mind. And just to show you how important the subconscious mind is, and you can Google all what I'm going to say now. If you So your conscious mind is only 5 or 10% of your mind, and the subconscious mind, therefore, is 90 to 95% of your mind. And yet,
Wow.
when we want to heal, right? Transform ourselves and grow, what we focus on only on a conscious mind, meaning that we are using only 5 to 10% of our mind power to try to find solution to our problem. So I thought to myself, hey, why not bringing the subconscious mind to the party, right? And using 100% our mind power. And that's what mind clearing is about.
The conscious mind then is the 5 to 10% that we would use to solve the problem. That would be when we go to a doctor and say, give me a pill to cure this. That's the conscious mind saying that's the solution.
Exactly. And the way I believe in what I call the law of cause and effect. So for every cause, there's an effect. For every effect,
Hmm.
there's a cause. On my kid, I say cause and consequences, right? He's 8 years old, just to make sure you
Yeah.
understand, right? And so from that, you extract that. And when you treat a chronic disease, and specifically more on chronic disease versus acute, right? What you want to know, in order to resolve that disease, right, or that chronic illness, you just need to know two things. That's about it. You need to know
Yeah.
what's causing your problem and how to fix it. If you don't know what's causing your problem, how can you fix it? We done right there, right? And if you know how to fix it, that's it. You have no more problem, meaning that you moved on. You don't even think about your problem anymore, and that's the foundation of what I do, right? And so
Yeah.
it's very important to understand that. It seems very simple, Michael, but when you apply that into your life, you'll be surprised how many paths you're not going to take because of that.
You make it sound so very straightforward, but I know that it's not. You make it sound very straightforward, but also make it sound very interesting and makes me want to learn more. Let's start the learning with you, this mind clearing system that you have developed. Tell me more about that.
Well, you've got to remember, we say that the subconscious mind's has been programmed. So you've got two kind of program, right? You've got a program that are serving you, right? It's kind of like you've got a day that everything is going right, everything is unfolding great. You are super product. Everything, it's like the world is smiling at you. So it's basically when your mind is working for you and not against you. And those programs are called empowering belief. Empowering belief. And after you've got like other program, of course, that are not serving you any longer. And it's kind of like you've got a day that, oh man, I wish I would have stayed in bed, right? We all have days like that are super, it's even not productive. It can be also counterproductive, right? And so it's like when your mind is working against you.
You become your own worst enemies type of situation.
Exactly. Self sabotaging, right? That's what drives us nuts, right? That's because of those limiting belief or negative programming that are the software. Remember,
Yes.
the mind is like a computer, and the software is dictating what you're going to see on your screen of life, right?
Yep. I get that.
So the mind clearing is a way to answer your question, Michael. The mind clearing is a way to change this program, right? To delete
Hmm.
what we don't want, download what we want, and basically want to make sure that we manifest that in our screen of life, right? Those are the three steps of a mind clearing.
Okay.
You delete what you don't want in life, you download what you want, and you want to make sure that you're going to manifest that into our life, because we are physical being. We are meant to experience things physically, right? If I say, oh, I'm going to start a diet, so I'm going to think I'm going to start a diet, and after I've got mixed emotion about that, right? Because last time I started a diet, I lose some weight, but I gain it back. So if I don't take action, it's like it's a fantasy in your head, right? And so you're not going to learn from that. You're not going to experience life with it.
Delete what you don't want, download what you do want, and then you've got a clearer
Yes.
mind to actually focus on solving the challenge without any background.
Yeah, because what's happening, your thought, your emotion, your behavior and action are aligned in alignment.
Yes.
So when everything is in alignment, I mean, you're unstoppable. You really
Hmm.
are. The problem is, like I said, like I described with the example of losing weight, where your emotion are not aligned, and so it's not going to happen.
I suspect that a lot of the things that people want to delete are the things that have the biggest influence on the decisions that they make, and never a positive influence on the decisions that they make. There's something in the subconscious mind that says, you shouldn't be doing this. People like you don't do this, but it's you really want to do it. You've got to delete those little voices inside your head, inside your mind that tell you can't do something or that you should do something that you don't want to do. How do you go about actually the process of deleting?
The programming of other people, actually, because it's mainly the behavior of the, can be of your family or some of the things, right, that they are really really controlling you, right?
Yeah. How would we go about deleting those things from our subconscious mind?
Well, you need to speak the same language. In my field, I used to travel a lot, Michael,
Hmm.
and the most frustration that I had is like when there was a cool guy and I just couldn't talk because we were not speaking the same language. It was very frustrating, right? When you speak the same language to anybody, you can understand each other right away, right? So
Hmm.
it's no problem. In my field, what they tell you, they say, oh, you know what you have to do? You have to write a food diary, feel the things that you don't like and feel the things that you like and visualize. You have to do lots of affirmation, visualization and hope for the best. Literally need to have an iron will. With a mind clearing, we speak the same language that the subconscious mind, which is when you remember the dream, there's always a picture of a series or like a movie associated with that.
Yes.
It's kind
Yes.
of like in this Rambo movie, right? When you just wake up and stand up and you see the feedback, right? What he was, the nightmare that he had being tortured.
Yep.
And so you always have a picture with it. Why? The picture is worth 1,000 words. That's why your conscious mind can process that at 11 bits per second, and your subconscious mind can process that at 11 million bits per second. So right there, what I'm listening, coming from you, I got 11 bits of that information. My subconscious mind's got 11 million bits per second. So that shows you how powerful our hidden mind, how powerful it is, right? And how this is really controlling us.
Yep.
So the question: do you want to be in control, or do you want program for other people, or coming from trauma that you may have experienced controlling you?
Is it the way to delete then is to talk about and tell people about what it is that you want to delete, get it out in the open and get rid of it?
No, it's basically you need to visualize what you don't want. Take a picture. You have to be in that picture, though, right? I call that the past you, right? The things that you want to bring back, right? And so basically, you need to have to visualize yourself. Let's see if you are too anxious, for example. Okay, so you visualize yourself being like super anxious, and I
Yep.
created a specific program that you're gonna send to you in that picture, right? And we'll customize it. So I'm here to guiding you, just giving you the technology to be able to speak the same language that the subconscious mind, and allowing you, empowering you, should I say, empowering you to
Yep.
use 90 to 95% of
Hmm.
your mind power to heal yourself. Right? So we do the delete like that. Step number two, I will ask you now, I want you to visualize totally the opposite of that picture, your ideal outcome. And we'll do the same process and have stuff to create what you want.
So download the things that you want to keep. That mean you transfer them to the conscious mind, or am I too logical in thinking that you would create photo albums or scrapbooks of the things that you want to keep?
Well, like Carl Jung said, you need to make the subconscious conscious,
Right.
right? And so that's meaning talking the same language. So when you're going to visualize that, you're going to speak the same language of a subconscious mind. The program is really the things, obviously, that's doing the trick. Because if you do visualization like that, it take lots of repetition and hope for the best, right? And so it's not going to work, right? And so as good, should I say, right?
Yep.
But when you visualize it and you download that program, right?
Hmm.
This is it. Because the key in the old fashion of doing things what you have been told, you say, oh, you have to figure out what are your limiting beliefs. I say, okay, hold on a minute. You are telling me that I'm going to use 5 or 10% of my mind power to crack the code of 90 to 95% of my mind? I mean, the odds are against you, right? It's not going to work. So you don't have to do that. You just have to replace it at what you want.
Right. Okay. And when you've done those two processes, then you're in a position to then use all of your mind to focus on what I might describe as the most important issue at hand.
Well, number three, you want to make sure that is gonna what you have been reprogramming is gonna manifest into your life, right? You want because otherwise, like I said, it's a fantasy in your head. So created a program in which you can manifest it. And there's a whole section about goal and success and things like that. But you want to make sure it's gonna happen into your life, right?
Right.
So that's create. So you basically you delete, you download, and you create.
The way in which you describe it makes it sound very logical, which is something that I like. At the same time, obviously isn't as easy to do this as you can make it sound. There's a lot of processing and probably a lot of anguish and pain that someone has to go through if they're going through these three steps.
It's a possibility, but some people cry, because, I will ask you, for example, Michael, let's say you come and you've got neck pain. So you've got neck pain. I will ask you, what's the number of pain? 8 over 10, 10 being the worst, right? So you say 8 over 10, right? So we start the session like that. So I will ask you to visualize, that picture, with the intense neck pain. We do the delete and create. And at the end of the section, you should be 0, 1 of pain. Now you're going to tell me, oh, but it can come back. Yes, it can come back. And those are called resistance of healing. If the pain comes back, you write down the circumstances around it. So the circumstances can be, oh, I was in my computer for 2 hours and my neck pain come back. Or I step into my car, my neck pain come back. Or I got mad at my wife and the neck pain come back. So we'll treat that, all those resistance, one after the other. It doesn't take long. And after, the pain should be gone permanently.
It's like you're looking at the circumstances in which the pain arises.
But retrigger that program, yes.
Yes, trigger. Yeah. You can think about the things that create the pain. There will always be a catalyst for creating the pain.
Yeah, because in your mind, if you got that program, if you hear on the radio, oh, we're going to have a barometric pressure is going to change, boom, it can create a pain right away. I've seen that. It's called the nocebo effect, actually.
Yeah, almost as if someone tells you that something's going to happen. You know that if that thing
Exactly.
happens, you will experience some form of pain. So being told that that is going to happen, your mind then triggers the pain because it expects to have that pain.
Because you got that program, right? It's kind of like they know that when you do research, right? When
Mhm.
they do research, let's see, they do research on a heartburn problem,
Yep.
right? And so I go to the research and they say, okay, Dr. Salas, what you're gonna do? You're gonna take that pill, and after, no more heartburn. I take the pill, and yes, no more heartburn. So I say, man, that pill is wonderful. They say, hold on, Dr. Salas. What you got is the sugar pill. It's called the placebo effect.
Yes.
You never actually got the pill, right? And so what does it mean? It means my subconscious and also sometimes conscious mind believe that taking the pill will heal me.
Yes.
And so they know, they brush it up as a placebo effect, but they know already how powerful the mind is to recognize that's true healing right there. So if you can if you can be the placebo for yourself, basically, if you can trigger the placebo effect in your favor, this is it. That's how
Yeah.
you're going to heal. That's the main, remember we talk about when you want to resolve a problem permanently, whatever problem is, a health problem, relationship problem, a prosperity problem, what you have to know what's causing. And the mind is causing a lot of your problem. I guarantee you that.
Yes.
And so when we go into the mind and reprogram it, some kind of like miracle happen, of course, because we've got access to 90 to 95% of our mind power and healing power that we didn't have access before.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
It makes an awful lot of sense. And I'm imagining that people listening will be thinking it makes an awful lot of sense as well. And they'll be thinking, well, how do I find out more? How can I get involved? What is the best way to contact Alain Salas?
The best way is just to go, Michael, to my website. It's called themindclearing.com, themindclearing.com. You go on contact and you will have like a form that shows up, or you've got my email there. And if you want to get a treatment, right,
Hmm.
about really anything, can be a pain, can be an emotion that you had, a thought that is recurrent, that you're tired of it. It can be like whatever, something sabotaging you or whatever it is that's bothering you, right? And so what you need to do is just you contact me and you say, hey, I want to get a treatment. You will have a treatment with me. It's going to take an hour, and I will give you 20% discount because you're coming, because Michael,
Hmm.
and his podcast. You just have to have mentioned the podcast. And if you want to learn it from yourself or as an individual, right, to make sure that you can empower yourself to heal, to transform yourself and grow, but not only yourself, but also your loved one. Or if you're a coach or a health professional that really want to go cracking the code of all those difficult cases, and you can add that technique, right? I will give you 50% off of the entire program, which is mind clearing basic, body clearing, which is about getting rid of pain, symptom in your body, and inflammation on the spot, and also a goal and success clearing, just to make sure that you can reach your goal or whatever they are, a health goal,
Okay.
transformation goal, prosperity, and business goal.
That is very generous of you, Alain. Very generous indeed. The website address is themindclearing.com. We will put a link in the description. Alain, it's fascinating. You've really made me think, and I do appreciate your time today. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Michael, for having me. And I wish like all the hosts will be like you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I am Michael Millward, the Managing Director of Abacida, and in this episode of Fit for My Age, I have been having a conversation with Dr. Alain Salas. You'll find more information about both of us at abacida.co.uk. If you would like to take up Alain's offers, then please visit themindclearing.com. I must remember to thank the team at matchmaker.fm for introducing me to Alain. If you are a podcast looking for interesting guests, or if, like Alain, you have something very interesting to say, matchmaker.fm is where great hosts and great guests are matched and greater podcasts are hatched. There is a link to matchmaker.fm and an offer code in the description. At Fit for My Age, our aim is proactive, positive aging. Knowing the risks early is an important part of maintaining good health. That is why we recommend the annual health test from York Test. York Test provides an assessment of 39 different health markers, including cholesterol, diabetes, various vitamins, various organ functions, and a full blood count. The annual health test is conducted by an experienced phlebotomist who will complete a full blood draw at your home or workplace. Hospital standard tests are carried out in a UKAS accredited and CQC compliant laboratory. You can access your easy to understand results and guidance to help you make effective lifestyle changes anytime via your secure personal Wellness Hub account. There is a link in the description, which means the description is well worth reading. I am sure that you will have enjoyed listening to this episode of Fit for My Age as much as Alain and I have enjoyed making it. So please give it a like and download it so you can listen anytime, anywhere. To make sure you don't miss out on future episodes, please subscribe. Remember, the aim of all the podcasts produced by Abacida is not to tell you what to think, but we do hope to have made you think. Until the next episode of Fit for My Age, thank you for listening and goodbye.